Just wait, go back. Wireless mic is on. We're back. We're back. Yay! Hopefully no issues today. Turn that music down a bit. Hi, Carrot Potato. Annie, I don't know if you're in here still, but hi, bye. I see a Strike Nun. How's it going, Strike Nun? Dust. How have the last few days been? Hola, everyone. Genesis. Currently icing my hand. Amazing.
Oh man, what'd you do, Stratty?
Oh, I thought you meant like putting, like getting icing all over your hand, but okay, Sammy actually saw what happened there. What did you do? You got a burn? Don't even tell me it was from caramel. I'm terrified for you. Is it still all in the left ear? We had this problem last stream too, and we thought we downloaded all the drivers. What the heck? What the heck, what the heck? That bugs me. Sammy the man with the plan. Okay, okay, so tonight we are cooking a lovely, okay, that doesn't work either. A lovely pork loin rib. This is what it's labeled. Pork loin rib, rack of pork. When you use pork twice in the same thing.
Could go away for a second.
Okay. Hold tight, guys. Sammy's fixing things so we're not just all to the left, to the left.
Are we 2 years now?
2 years? Hello. 2 ears, not just one. Oh, you sprained it. No. You should let that heal. I'm gonna give you shit right now, because honestly, that'll come back and bite you big time when you get older and things are not so good in your body, like your tendons and joints and stuff. Just train a little bit less. I know it's hard. Believe me, I did the exact same thing in this wrist, and I didn't stop training, and it still bugs me 3 years later. Just saying. Nike, how are you? Nice, Carrot Potato. That's always good. Just a little pop-in. That's awesome. That shows that you're excited, right? And it also shows that you're confident, because people in the kitchen like to see that. Okay, well, anyways, getting back to this pork. We haven't cooked pork on here in quite a while. I'm pretty excited. And it's a really nice piece. So it's bones in it still. There's 4 bones here. So if you look at the underside, they're kind of like slanted. So it's gonna be interesting when we go to carve this up later. And then if I look at the top, we can see that it's been marked in a couple places where it should actually be completely covered in that wonderful fat cap. So when we go to plate this up, I'm probably only gonna take like this really nice center cut with all of the fat on it. But I think that we're going to cook this kind of low and slow in the oven until we're closer to eating. So I think I'm gonna preheat the oven to like maybe 250 Fahrenheit, like really low, guys. And just pop that in there right away. We'll season it up and everything, get it ready to go. And that way the pork will start to heat up and maybe just start to warm all the way through. And then when we go to like get some color on it, we're gonna start searing it in a cast iron pan, probably gonna be basting it with some of its own fat and make it super juicy and unctuous in that way. I think that'll be a fun way to prepare this, and I think it'll turn out the best. Because pork loin, hopefully you know that that's one of the drier cuts of pork, is basically without this top fat, there's really not much other marbling in here. So we wanna be delicate with this. Because if we go high heat, yes, it will cook quickly, but we're not gonna get a tender and juicy piece out of this. So lower and slower for those leaner cuts if you are gonna roast it whole. The other thing you could do is to slice it in between all the bones and just fry it like a pork chop. But I love to roast these pieces whole. I just find that they turn out so much better. Yeah, and also really good price on this. That's true, Dust Pirate. Like 12 bucks for this piece of pork. Does it say the weight is a kilo? That's pretty good. Carrot, it's a very informal and family-like restaurant, so it's normal that if you're part of the team, just walk in the kitchen. Heck yeah. That's how my place was as well. I feel like it should be like that almost in any kitchen. So that's just showing a form of respect. Yeah, why is it called pork and not just pig meat? Well, why is it called beef and not just cow?
I call it cow.
Oh. Bring, being. It's okay, Dust. I totally understand what you guys say. But I would want to autocorrect that as well. So I understand when you're like, believe me, I can type properly. In Dutch, you do say pig and cow meat. Okay, that's interesting then. I don't know. Okay, so going with this pork is we're gonna make some polenta. Another one of my favorite dishes to make, especially with pork. And we just got some really nice fresh corn in from the farms. So we're going to get some nice corn kernels into the polenta as well with the cornmeal. And we actually have 2 different types of cornmeal that we're gonna use today as well. I'm gonna turn this light down a bit. I'm blinded by the light. So we have a medium grind cornmeal, which obviously will take probably double the amount of time to cook as the purity. But I do like this medium grind because it just gives this like more kind of toothy feel to your polenta rather than it just being like straight up mush, right? Sad to say, but that's kind of how polenta is. But we'll flavor it up really nice. We'll put in some nice fresh herbs from the garden. Maybe start it with a little bit of onion and garlic and some bay leaf. And then we will be using, let's do a mix of chicken broth and milk. And then we'll add the cheese at the end as well. That'll be good. And then all of our veg, we have to go pick from the garden. So I think first things first, we should definitely get the pork into the oven. Then we can go pick our veggies, get those all washed up and prepped, and then we can make our polenta. Because the polenta should only take about half an hour to make. And kind of same thing with the veggies. Not super long. I think we're just gonna roast the carrots and the beets together in the oven, and then maybe throw the French beans in last minute. Try and make this pretty easy on ourselves, because once again, it's like a really hot day out there. It's like 32 degrees, a little bit cooler here because we're by the water, but we don't want to heat up the house too much. Hi, Scat. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, so we are going to use this sheet pan for the pork, and we're going to prop it up on a metal rack so that the air can circulate underneath as well. And basically this is reverse searing. I know some of you were enthralled last time we did reverse sear, and what did we do? A steak, I think? So we're gonna do the same with this pork. And while we're working on the pork, we might as well preheat the oven. So let's do 250 Fahrenheit. Because I would like to be taking this out of the oven in about an hour from now. Your veggies have been growing super well. Amazing. You had a big heat wave, so they all got enough sun and heat. 10 crops of fresh lettuce in no time. I know, the lettuce grows so quick, hey? Okay, I'm going to need a little paper towel so that we can dry this off before we season it up. Let's see what we're working with. Has everyone had a good day so far? I feel like our day went by really quick. Like we were working hard all morning and then I looked at my phone for like the first time and it was already 12:45. I was like, oh, well, we missed lunch. So I'm just gonna keep working and then we get done a little bit earlier, right? Hey, Torino. You went outside today and you're hurting now. Did you get sunburned? Why are you hurting? What's going on? This is a heavy piece of pork. That's a heavy piece of pork.
A good hiding setting. So in here, and then
Sammy's fixing something, guys. It's better now? Walking has been an issue, but you had to get the pharmacy for your meds. Oh no. Aw, well I hope you're doing better. Scat, you're not supposed to tell us. Shh. What are you doing, Scat? I didn't see anything. You're just being a good person? Okay, sounds good. The audio's amazing now? Yes, finally. It only took us, I don't know how long. Okay, so if we look at our bones that were, shall I say, Frenched. Not very clean. Like I would love to clean this up because you have to think when we cooked this, it's gonna start to shrink up and it's gonna look really ugly on the bone. So we also need to clean that up as well. This is like a half Frenching job. But hey, I mean, looking at how they butchered it, that's kind of to be expected. Ooh, gooseberry. Oh no. So I got one as well, and it did have one little berry hanging from it, but I haven't checked on it. Thanks for reminding me. You lost 2 chili plants today. Oh no, guys. Yeah, gooseberries are kind of like yellowy orange looking. They're pretty sour, I would say. It's refreshing though. What happened to your chili plants? Okay, so basically what we're gonna do, we're gonna go away from the meat, right? Because we don't wanna accidentally nick the meat if we go towards it with our knife. And I am using a boning knife for this. And we're just basically gonna go down along the bone. Sometimes you can scrape it as well. Start to get the sinew off using the back of your knife. And this will start to kind of just loosen off. This isn't just me being really picky, guys, but I feel like I need to teach you this stuff. It's like if you want to wow people that you're cooking for, I think everything is in the details, right? Unless it's just me that looks at that stuff because that's how I was trained. But I think that we deserve to be picky with what we're eating.
that's kind of what happened to your cactus. What happened to his.
The leaves just went limp and the flowers fell off. Oh, wow. Yeah, my cactus died in the springtime. Literally, like one day I just looked at my cactus and it was like moldy and shriveled up. I was like, what the hell happened? But luckily all my veggies are good. Okay, so obviously we can see this is like not really easy to do either. Sometimes you gotta get in there and like peel it off. Maybe that's why this person gave up. They're like, ah, it's good enough. But really, it should never be good enough. It can always be better. So let's just do our best. At least get like the meat part off of there. But if we can't get the sinew, well then I guess that's that. I think I want to do maybe a rub with some Dijon mustard on the outside of the pork rack. That's always a good one. But then again, if we want to baste this, that might affect when we go to baste this with some fat. Seriously, Scat, this is so cheap. I'm pretty sure this knife is like 20 bucks. I do have it linked on my blacksmith if you want to check this one out. I've had it since I started cooking. And I don't really like to use anything else. The blade is really nice and flexible. Like it's good for poultry, pork, beef, even fish. It was really handy the other day when we were doing up some fish. In Dutch, a gooseberry is called groen kruisbees, which means green crossberry. Cool. Now I'm learning too. Guys, today, where we finished working, finally at the one job that Sam and I have been working on, the old lady, when we said bye to her and her husband, she made us give her a hug. She's like, come here, I need to give you a hug. She's like our surrogate grandmother now. It's adorable. She's like, you have to let me know when you guys have your food truck. I was like, this we can do. I guess if you have an animal in the house, you could give them these little pork scraps. Yeah, 26 bucks Canadian, which means it's like 20 bucks American for this boning knife. Oh, also, Sammy has something to show you guys. Something came in the mail. I don't think he's paying attention though.
No, I heard you.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty excited about it. I have to say it's much easier to French lamb bones than pork bones, just from experience. The sinew on the pork is a lot thicker. And I think chicken is probably the easiest for sure. Chicken bones, it just comes off like nothing. Can we get that little bit under there? Okay, I might go towards the meat. I just gotta be really careful. There we go. Success. Okay, last one. We got this. Sammy showed on his $30 premium Snapchat? What? Sammy has Snapchat?
What?
What are you showing?
I didn't do nothing.
I didn't even know this. I don't even have Snapchat.
It happened. Sorry.
What? Snapchat happened?
Yeah.
The things you don't tell your fiance. What kind of side hose does he have going on? What?
How do you think I paid for you?
You pay for me?
Yeah.
You pay for, what do you mean?
I pay pay for all this stuff
With the side hose?
with the Snapchat.
Oh.
With that premium Snapchat.
Yeah, anyone with a tier 3 sub gets Sammy's premium Snapchat.
Premium subs.
Yeah. He only posts on it once every 3 months, though. Okay, we're good. We've been Frenched.
That's too funny.
In my opinion, still worth it. What's the reason for shaving the bones? Because when we go to cook it, all of the stuff that was on there before would like dry up and get cooked on and just get dry and weird looking. So you always try and do your best to take off basically as much as you can so that the bones are really nice and clean. So I'm hoping that this looks better than it did before. I feel like it did. Yeah, just literally just a visual thing. Just to waste your own time, really. And then maybe hope that whoever you're cooking for, or yourself, is impressed with it. This is literally cooking. Doing random stuff to food with the hopes that somebody or yourself is impressed by it. Because really, do we eat with our eyes? I don't know if I like that saying at all. But that is the first thing that happens is you look at your food when you go to eat it. Turn this around. It looks a little bit better. Still leaving it too bright. But I think it's more important for something to taste good than to look good. But when the two come together, well, then that's a pretty amazing dish. You don't know how it's called anymore, but you walked into the kitchen today. The chef was cutting a piece of pig meat that is like the muscle next to the spine. You can see the imprints of the ribs.
Honestly,
The tenderloin?
That would be the loin.
Either the loin or the tenderloin.
Have the imprints of the
No.
So it would be the loin that you're cooking right now. Except the rack of the ribs would be off.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now we have the fun of seasoning it up. Obviously, salt will be in the mix. I might just use a fancy salt. Some herbage. I have this really nice salt with like thyme and rosemary and sage in it. It's more of a coarse salt. I've been wanting to use this up. Let's choose this for our salt aspect. Also, I just love the jar, really. Which side's better? Maybe this side looks a bit better. Hey, Coffee, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Pepper. I think I do want to use a little bit of the Dijon mustard. Basically just to adhere some stuff. You could always mix your Dijon mustard with a little bit of hot sauce if you're feeling crazy. You're late tired. Oh no. Yeah, drywall beast. Well, we've been working on that job for what, probably 3 weeks now?
Which one?
Mary's. 2 weeks?
June 26th we started. Or July 26th we started.
Oh, okay.
I have the first photo.
I don't love how this is sitting on here.
So we
I'm
started
gonna
on
post
the
it
Friday.
that way. I don't really care if the bones touch, but I'd rather have the meat completely off of the bottom of the sheet pan.
We started on Friday, put the drywall up. Your dad did the mud and tape on Wednesday we did the first coat of the second coat. Wednesday we weren't allowed in because of the power outage. Thursday we did the third coat. Friday we let it sit all weekend. And long weekend was Monday. Tuesday we finished. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. We crushed that then.
If the power wasn't out Wednesday, we probably would have did it Thursday and had it done within a week.
Yeah. Difference between loin and tenderloin. So think about it, maybe it's easier to think about it in beef terms. It's like the pork tenderloin is the same thing as a beef tenderloin. So it's really, really tender, but lean, really lean. So not a ton of flavor in there. But if you cook it properly, it should be really tender and juicy. Whereas the loin usually has some nice fat cap on it as well. The tenderloin doesn't have a fat cap at all. There's actually like a huge chunk of silver skin that you usually have to clean off the tenderloin. And as you can see, the pork loin sits right next to the rib. So there's gonna be more connective tissue in there, but also more flavor, especially if you cook it with the ribs on like we're doing tonight. It was loin because it was nice and fatty. Yeah. That's the one you want. Dijon's your favorite mustard? Me too. Me too. So good. Okay, I'm gonna do salt first so I know that it sticks. Nice little salt in there. Smells really good still. And because this is a pretty big piece of meat, we will definitely need quite a bit of salt to season it all the way through. Whereas if, like I said earlier, we cut it in between all the bones and just did chops, you would probably need about 1/4 the amount of salt per chop. But because we're cooking it whole, we have to think that we need enough salt to penetrate through all of that meat. Because we don't have as much surface area to season. How would I season Brussels sprouts? I always love to cook them with like butter and maple syrup, but I'm pretty sure that you can't do that. Sorry to say. But I always like to do some herbs with Brussels sprouts, or bacon is always a good one. Maybe making it like spicy as well. But definitely salt and pepper. If you have nothing else, just use the salt and pepper. I always find that Brussels sprouts need quite a bit of fat when you cook them as well. Otherwise, they just get dried out and hard. I've made that mistake a couple of times. It's like you go to cook your Brussels sprouts, especially roasting them, and they just take forever to roast, and then they're just like hard and weird textured. So always make sure you use enough fat when you're cooking your veggies. Maple syrup, scat, the one. But we don't put the maple syrup in until the end, right? Because it'll burn. So then when you add it at the end, like the last maybe 5 minutes of cooking, then it starts to make a caramel with the butter in the pan. Yep, the salt penetrates through the mustard. The mustard is just helping it adhere to the pork. And then as it slowly cooks, you're not even gonna taste the mustard. I promise you this. Even if you're like a weird mustard person, you're not gonna taste it. Yeah, Sam's a weird mustard person and he loves his pork like this. So yes, the salt will penetrate through, thanks to gravity, is my guess there, for sure. That's why we always season meat on the top, right? That's my guess. And then that's why we're making sure, like, we're kind of making this crust of salt and pepper and mustard. And it's gonna be more potent, for sure. Like, say you were to just cut this part off when it's done cooking, that's gonna be so salty. But when you eat it together with the rest of the piece of meat, it should taste delicious. And I always add the salt before the pepper because I feel like the salt is more important to stick onto there than the pepper. And pepper is more powdery. So I have found in the past that if I add my pepper before the salt doesn't stick as well. Unless it's just in my head. Yeah, cooking science win. Just let gravity do the work. Okay, that looks pretty happy to me. And yeah, you can use whatever type of spices you want. Like fennel and pork is really good if you want to crush up some fennel seed. Really, any herbs are good with pork too. But I used an herb salt, so that's my cheating right there. Our oven is ready at 250 Fahrenheit, so let's pop this in and then we can go outside and pick our veggies. And so let's keep in mind the time. So it's 5:20. Oh, we got a pizza stone in here. Is that okay, Sam?
What?
If I put the pork on top, the pizza stone? Okay. And I would love to have that done within an hour, but I'm gonna set a half an hour timer just so I can check it to make sure that it's not overcooked. I feel like that's really important as well. But I don't think it'll be even close to being done cooking by that time. Something's off with this angle. I don't know why we're all sideways. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I do love sugar skulls. Okay, we're going outside.
No.
Oh, Sammy says no. Okay, we're changing the camera. Sammy, what do you have? What you got?
Today I have a Cook with Kate hoodie. You
What?
know, just saying, I got myself a hoodie. This is legit.
Sweet.
The hood's good.
The hoods are good.
You can go Rick Ross style.
Rick Rouse.
Ross, big boss. got some snacks?
Ah!
Got some snacks? I got snacks.
It's good quality, I would say, for sure. So that was like our test for the merch. I do want to get a different logo done for the merch, and the one downside I will say from using Streamlabs is us as Canadians, we had to pay $15 customs on that. Like what? And Sam said there was no disclaimer when he bought it saying that you might have to pay customs. So that kind of sucks. Kind of expecting something to come and it's like, oh, by the way, you owe us $15 as well. So it almost cost, like, should I even say this, Sam? Like, it almost cost $100 to get that hoodie to Canada. What? That's insane. So not super impressed with that, but I am looking at a different company to work with. It's called Design by Humans. And I've already started to set up my store with them because I have heard better things. Eggs Benny hoodie.
Yeah, and on the back, get cracking.
Get cracking. Love it. Okay, now we're going outside. We gotta pick some beets, carrots, and maybe some beans. So let's go check it out. It's pretty nice out there today. Ta-da!
It is nice day outside.
It's quite nice. Got a nice little breeze. Guys, I'm sorry if it goes a little staticky. I'm actually just gonna leave this open because it's so nice. And I'm just gonna move the view that we have because we gotta look kind of the other way. I might be able to turn the camera though. We're just kind of working behind. I don't know how that view is, but here's our beets that we got to pick from. So we gotta find all the big ones. The biggins. Let me just see how we're looking. I don't know how that view is, but here's our beets that we gotta pick from. That's pretty good, isn't it? We gotta find all the big ones. Yeah. Okay. We are good. Let me just see how we're looking. Okay, who in here loves beets? Because obviously you can see that I like beets. Bon appetit. I think we can get probably like 4 out of here. There's 3 rows of beets. Yeah, found a big one already. And these, when were these even planted? In the early spring. So you can see how long it takes for us to grow the beets. Ta-da!
Can I get you to do a quick test and walk around the garden and see if it cuts out?
Okay, Sammy wants a quick test.
Just keep on walking and talking and I will watch.
Okay. Sammy wants to test how far this mic's gonna go before it gets staticky. So I'm just gonna quickly walk around the garden. Nike, you love beets? Yes. Oh no, Dust. I feel like you're gonna like them as an adult. Scat, you're a beets noob. I grew up with beets, a lot of pickled beets, Ukrainian things, a lot of borscht as well. You guys like the beet soup? Super good. Yeah, borscht. Get that in my face. So good. Yeah, when the beet drops. Okay. That was my tour, Sammy.
Just a little staticky at the very end of the last planter.
So the beans?
Yeah.
Okay. It's staticky by the beans. Ugh. It's like, what did I just feel on my knees? Young pickled beets. Yeah, that's true, because they are sweeter. Pick the baby beets. Okay, so that's one of those gone. I see another big one here. And we used like heirloom beet seeds, so they're gonna be kind of all different colors. There's some that are like long, kind of finger looking beets as well. So we'll see when we cut into them, but you can also tell from the stems. So this stem looks kind of more stripy compared to this stem. So this, I'm gonna say, is a candy cane beet, which makes sense because it's red and white. Whereas this one is just straight up a purple beet. So that'll be nice that we got some color variation in there as well. I think there's a big one on this side. Holy smokes, yeah, it's large. You gotta get it out. Look at that one. It's a monster. Yeah. So knock all the dirt off. We want to keep that in the garden, because dirt's not free. And I think we can do maybe one more. Beat it up. Okay, that's that. And then let's hunt for some carrots, which are also different colored. I don't know if you guys remember Matt bugging me the other day about us having weird carrots. Yeah, we're right here. I'm sorry, carrot potato, but you're getting chopped up today. When you were in school, Nike, and you got burgers with all the fixins, your friends gave you their fixins? Yeah. The lettuce and tomato? Yeah, when your baba has like 10 cats, 0 mice involved. Yeah, Brussels sprouts, maple syrup, butter. Okay, we got one big one here. So just shake it, holding on to the stem. and then pull up as you do that. We got a carrot. Look, it's you, carrot. It's you. Ooh, I see a big yellow one here. You guys ever seen a yellow carrot? That one's like really in the dirt. Loosen it up, pull it out. Thank you. We should add some crazy quotes. I feel like I say some dumbass stuff quite often. That might be one for the books. Oh, I think we got a purple one. Oh, there's spiders in my hair now. Oh no, guys. Carrots are orange because of the Dutch. Yeah, isn't the original carrot actually purple? Okay, these ones on the end are kind of just starting to grow. We may not have as many carrots as we do beets, but I'll keep hunting. Maybe you just gotta get in there. Can also try and look for the bigger stems, right? Because if the stem looks pretty big, well then the carrot should be pretty big as well. This one on the end. Oh, that's a good specimen. Oh, all the dogs are barking. You hear that? We're disrupting the neighborhood. Okay, that's all I'm gonna pick, I think, from this bed. Oh, maybe one more. I just keep saying that. Oh, maybe one more. Oh, look, there's more. Plus, us picking the carrots out will give some more room for the other carrots that are still growing. Yeah, you'll gain 5 pounds and be like, but I've just been eating Brussels sprouts. Purple, yellow, and white were the original colors. So cool. Torino, stop looking at my tomatoes like that. Only we're allowed to look at them like that. I am so proud of my tomatoes, though, this year. Or our tomatoes, shall I say. Like, when they're growing taller than me, there's a problem. I just have to keep adding more and more bamboo for them to climb up. I don't think you can get right into the tomato. That's all you can go. Show them the big heirloom one on the left. You can't grow them? Oh. Yeah, all of these we got were already starts. So there's one heirloom, and then the 2 cherry tomatoes were actually from a local farm here. So they save their seeds, which means that those tomatoes are basically designed to grow in this climate, and they work really well. Pretty cool. Everything's popping. It's like literally a jungle in here. Sammy, I'm gonna actually get you to take a quick photo of me with just the veg before we go back in. What are you doing? Sam's trying to kill wasps, I guess. I don't know.
What am I doing?
I just want a photo with the veggies.
Oh, photo with the veggies. Photoing vegetables.
We got it?
Got it.
Okay, we got it.
Got the shot.
We got it, guys. We still need some beaners, though. Beaners. We got the beets and carrots. We need those beans. You don't see any dill? It already went to seed. And yeah, Dust, he did smack a wasp. He's crazy. Hey, 50 Shades of Sasha Grey. Yeah, the dill already went to seed, sad to say. So we've been looking at the farms here for pickles. It's right here, Torino. There she is, the dilly. That's like one of my favorite herbs. There she is, the dilly. Sammy's picking beans for us? Guys, we're putting Sammy to work. Look at this guy. Did you guys also know that Sammy's an avid gardener? He just lets me do all the work now. But he used to garden all the time with his mom, he told me. It's legit. I believe him. He says, I did. Okay, we're gonna go wash the veg inside. We can do double duty. That's the best part about this. Yeah, really. He's just representing Reese's. Let's be honest here. Okay, let's do that. We'll leave Sammy outside. Hopefully the bear doesn't come. Or is he the bear? That's the serious question. Oh, what? I'm like furiously watching my email to get an email back from Top Chef. I'm like excited and nervous at the same time. Anyone in chat ever used the carrot top to make a pesto before? I remember that was like a pretty big thing a couple years back. Sammy's singing to his beans. You can put them on the cutting board if you want. Thanks, Sammy. Good picks. Good picks.
Smooth. Smooth.
Oh, Doggo's like, do I hear vegetables being picked? She's like, did I hear bean? So how come the Dutch made carrots orange? How did this happen, carrot potato? I feel like you know. History lesson. Right, meow. These are gonna be so good roasted up.
Should I call that something in the garden?
I don't know why Sammy's singing to us today. Seriously? Sam, point the camera to her.
Good girl. Great girl, okay. She's already trying to go into the beets.
Check this out.
Okay, when she smelled the beets, and she's like into the, and then up on the ledge and into the bushes.
Holy. Nike. Sam looks lost out there. Welcome to the jungle. Yeah, Top Chef. I'm being serious, Dust Pirate. It's Canada's Top Chef, though. But I answered the application, or I filled it out on the weekend. It was 88 questions that were like very personal about all your history of cooking, and like even asking about your family and your extended family, if you've ever been arrested, everything like that. It took me about 2 hours to answer it all because you also had to explain yourself for every single one. And I'm gonna just have to wait to hear back, but I'm really excited. This goes this way. I don't know why we're all sideways today, guys. I got nothing. I got nothing. Oh no, Scat. Okay. Tablet dies. Tablet lives. Okay, we'll catch you hopefully tomorrow, Scat. Thanks, Dust. Yeah, I'm really excited. Hopefully I get picked. I'd be down for that. That would be a pretty big level up for my career. And I think that's what would be really cool for the stream as well. Yeah, Doggo's doing so good. Okay, Carrot Potato, your first king was William I, Prince of Orange. So orange became your national color, and eventually a farmer made the carrots orange in honor of the king, and then it became an international standard because it looked more appeasing than a purple carrot. Yeah, this one time in high school, I've actually never been arrested. Quite proud of that, and I've only ever gotten one speeding ticket. Yeah, I know, Dust. It'd be so cool. But then the only thing is that if I do get picked, I can't share anything with you guys until it airs.
Yeah.
So it's like I just have to
Don't
stay
tell
quiet.
Me nothing.
Yeah.
You can't tell
Yeah, I
me
can't tell
nothing.
Sammy anything.
I am so bad.
Actually, it's super soon, you guys. If we do get picked, they're actually starting filming, I think it was October, like the end of October to the middle of November, or it's like 6 weeks. So October to the middle of November. It's very, very soon. So I don't have much time to prepare if that does happen. Oh no, come back, Carrot. And I think that it's filmed in Toronto. Yeah, I'm just a Twitch streamer. But I think I have a pretty good chance. Like, I feel good about my past and my resume and what I have to offer. And it's the kind of cool thing about Canada is there's not a ton of high-end restaurants here yet, hopefully. Just threw the carrot tops over the fence. I'm pretty sure the deer would eat that. I'm not doing anything. That's my own yard. If they want to come into it, well, that's their own fault. And if there happens to be carrot tops, well, then lucky them. Okay, carrots are somewhat prepped. I think we should wash up our beets as well, and then we can prep everything at once. They're gonna go onto the same tray, but we're gonna separate them so that the beets don't color the carrots. Good old-fashioned roast up. And if the beet greens are nice, guys, you can keep them as well. You can eat them just like kind of any other green. I would compare it to maybe kale. I've even put them into our smoothies. They don't have a bad flavor at all. But I think they're better sauteed than raw. Yeah. Yeah, I've done the pesto with the carrot tops before.
And then we do salmon and walnut.
I think so.
Salmon and pine nuts. Are you doing any more with the outside camera?
Nope, I should be done now. I wonder how they colored the carrot orange though. Like, what did they use? Like, how did they do it? We know the why. We know why they did it, but how? Especially back then. Yeah, because it's what? It's carotene. Carotene is the coloring in carrots, which I believe is also really good for your eyes. If you eat lots of carrots, you should have good eyes. These are really nice beets. I'm pretty excited about this. Look at that beet. Yeah, then you believe a person made a carrot orange. But how, Nike? How? How did he do it? One left. I think I'm starting to smell the pork as well. That means our half-an-hour timer should be there. Oh, look, there's 50 seconds left. And I want to cook this pork to like a medium internally. So I'll be taking this out at around 130 Fahrenheit. And then we'll let it rest for at least 15 minutes, I would say, for that size. Aliens. We all know what it is. It's aliens. Beet leaf buns, yeah. Yeah, I actually have done something wrapped up in the beet greens before. I think I did like a little rice kind of mix with meat and then wrapped it and baked it. It was really nice. Yeah, beet tops are so good, right? Okay, this porky pork yelling at us. Oh yeah, she's way off. So we'll set another half an hour timer. It doesn't even look like it's done much, but that is okay, because sometimes looks can be deceiving. Get into Betty, Torino. Get in there. Oh, I should put a board under this. Whew. Good thing I remembered that, guys. Otherwise, we would have had purple cutting board forever. One. Two. Yeah, Vix, we literally just picked them from the garden. If you watch the VOD later on, you'll see me picking them. These are actually the first beets I have picked this season, so I'm pretty excited about this. And then this one should be candy cane, kind of striped, and it is. If we compare these two side by side, you can see the coloring difference. You have the yard for it, but you're super lazy? Yeah. So we actually have raised garden beds. Instead of digging in the dirt, you build garden beds up like 3 to 4 feet high. And then we also did it so they water themselves. And that way you can be lazy and not feel bad about it. The carrots turned out orange. Okay. So it just depended on the nutrient in the ground. That's really cool, carrot potato. Thanks for looking that up. Okay, we're also gonna cut off the little root tip. And then we're gonna give it a little peel. And I'm gonna put gloves on for this part because it's going to get messy. Yeah, Vix, I also find it really easy to garden with like planter pots as well. That's how I started, at least, because I lived in an apartment. But now we have more room. This is gonna look so cool. How cool that little part looks. Should focus. Focus. So shiny. Doggo's barking at the door because she sees me cutting the vegetables. She's like, excuse me, there are vegetables being prepared and I need to be around in case anything falls on the floor. So it's still trying to reconnect. Hello? Oh, we are good. Okay. Weird.
I don't know.
Anybody? Squad? We're here? Okay, well, we might as well cut these up. Okay, we're good. I don't know why, but the stream disconnected for like a minute there, carrot potato. We're gonna cut these up. Yeah, I don't know what the heck, Vix. I don't know what happened. It just said stream has been disconnected, reconnecting. Interwebs, yeah. Okay, when we're roasting stuff, I like it to be kind of bite-sized pieces so that it's easy to eat later on. So let's cut this big guy right in half. Get the inside of that pretty awesome. Hey, Magic Cookie. How's it going? I think we might even do this because it looks so good. Yeah. And then let's flip it onto the flat side. That way we're being safe. Yeah, it's so nice. I'm so excited for this. And then I'm gonna do this, I think, into quarters. So maybe about 1/2 inch pieces. Then we'll put the ends together because they're the same size, and we'll leave the center two together. And then we'll cut it into thirds. Looks like a nice size. So we get little cubes that are something like that. And then I'm gonna say that might take about 25 minutes to roast in a nice hot oven. It was really silent, yeah. You didn't get a Twitch alert, what? That's weird. Oh, something weird's happening, Cookie, because my stream just disconnected for a minute or two, randomly. Just happy we're back. Zobo Cat, how have you been? Thank you for the host as well. That's very generous of you. Never feel bad for not being here. Everyone has things going on in their own life. Gotta understand that. Let's go that way into thirds. Same with the other side. And we'll put that together. So I always put the ends together and then the centers together, right? Because they're more the same shapes. Ah! Don't let it fall off the board. It's gonna get stained forever. really quiet week at work. Well, that's awesome. Or does it almost get too quiet where you're like, wow, it's too quiet in here. New job has been taking up lots of time. Oh, I didn't know you got a new job. Hopefully it's been going well. I also got a new job. And yeah, it's been taking up some time. I feel ya. I feel ya. I am so excited for these beets, Sobo. This is our first pick of the season. We were just in the garden earlier on stream, picking out the beets. It gets too quiet. Yeah, that's nice to have that option to work from home. Nike, you're back. Welcome back, man. Can't wait to get these in the oven because then it's gonna start to smell so good. Okay, beets are cut up. I can finally actually, let's not take our gloves off because we still have to dress them. Let's just keep carrying on with these beets until we're literally done with them. And then we can move on to our carrots and beans. I am not still chefing. Yeah, that's the big change, Zobo. I am no longer chefing at this moment. Decided to take a little break and make some money and have a nice like 9 to 5 Monday to Friday schedule for once in my life because I haven't had that in 9 years. Like yesterday, the holiday Monday for us Canadians was the first long weekend I've had, and I honestly can't remember. It's crazy, but I've been loving it. I feel like I have so much more time to like spend with Sammy and to be able to stream. It's been awesome. I just felt like when I was chefing all the time, I was kind of like falling out of love with it. It's like, I don't really love doing this. And then that was kind of like a checking in point with myself where I was like, maybe I do need to take a step back and do something else for a little bit. And so then I did. It was very hard though, I have to say that. Okay, we're gonna line our sheet pan with some parchment. That way it's easy to clean. And we have no sticking as well from our veggies, because beets are pretty sweet, right? As well as carrots. Sorry about your ears. So far, honestly, I'm like 2.5 weeks into this new schedule, and I think it's been very positive. Within the first like 2 days, Sam's like, you even like just seem so much more like yourself. Pretty sure I was getting like kind of depressed. Felt like I was in this fog. Yeah, I've been really trying to work on that, Nike, is like being very mindful of my body and like taking those little hints from the world. I feel like we need to do that, right? Okay, so I'm gonna dress these. Well, I mean, first pick of the season, they gotta be good, right? So let's not fool around with them too much. Definitely gonna use some olive oil. Yeah, Cookie, you need us to come work on the house. That's what everyone says. So olive oil, and maybe just some salt and pepper. Because we're gonna kind of flavor up the polenta with some garlic and onion and herbs. The pork's got mustard and herbs on it. So maybe we'll just leave the veggies plain. Minnesota. Thank you very much for the host. I hope you are well today. It's great to see you in here. Hello. Hello. Get some of that pep on here. I really like black pepper with beets. I always go a little bit heavy. Yeah, the legend, Minnesota. I actually get some shout outs for Minnesota and ZoboCat, two fellow food streamers on Twitch. You guys feel free to go check them out. Show some love. Build this little community up. Okay, that looks evenly seasoned. Now I'm just gonna toss that up, get everything coated with the oil and salt and pepper. And then we'll move on to our carrots. Thanks, guys. Yeah, my bear friend, Sammy. And then we're gonna spread our beets out because when we're roasting, we don't really want anything piled on top of itself because then it won't roast, but rather steam. So when we're roasting, we don't really want it to touch itself as best as we can, really. And that way we can get a little bit of caramelization happening. Because if we leave this all scrunched together, it's just going to steam because there's no room for caramelization to occur. Because obviously vegetables have a lot of water in them. You've only boiled beets. Only because you've been lazy. Yeah, these are gonna be super good. I have high hopes though. I think it's a good thing though. I love to roast beets. My other favorite way of roasting beets is in a foil packet. And I actually leave the beets whole. So I just cut the tops off and the little root tip, but leave the beet whole, dress it up exactly like this. So you add your salt, maybe leave your pepper till the end. But we want to salt our beets and oil them and then fold it into a foil packet so that the air can't escape or get in. And that way it kind of roasts and steams at the same time. And you know it's done when you can just basically peel the entire piece of skin off the beet. It's pretty awesome. Okay, carrot time. Almost as sweet as the bud you've been puffing on. Look at this little carrot. It's like pointing at you. It's like, you over there. Okay, I washed these up pretty good. I'm okay if there's a little bit of dirt. I feel like we need that in our lives sometimes. And we want to match our carrots to kind of the size of the beets, but I'm also gonna say that the beets are going to take longer to cook than the carrot because they're just a little bit more woody, the beets. Carrots are a little bit more delicate. So we can even cut the carrot a little bit bigger than the beet. And honestly, these aren't super big. So I think I might just do them cut in half lengthwise. And then we can cook everything together because I feel like that's gonna look really, really nice on the plate. Yeah, stop pointing at me, carrot. Here, I'll just put it like back here. I'll just keep pointing at you. Don't tell me what to do, carrot. These purple ones are my favorite because look at the inside. Like, what even is that? You're telling me that this is not as appealing as a regular orange carrot? Like, look at this. How is that bad? It totally looks like a finger, right? It's like, hey, you over there. If we don't peel them, are they more bitter? I don't think so. Oh, that's good. When a carrot just tastes like a carrot and not a cardboard box. I've never heard that. Peeling the carrots or like not peeling the carrot makes it bitter. I just don't want to peel it because I don't want to waste that lovely skin. And I know it's not like a thick skin that is tough. That's an interesting thing to look into. To me, nothing in this is bitter. So I'm just going to carry on. Yeah, R.I.P. carrot finger. I cut the finger off. Who am I? Sorry, I've been watching too much Sopranos. Sammy and I will just munch on this. That one was a really weird color. The white ones look like you on the beach. You need some color on ya. So I'm purposely not putting the white carrots by the beets so that they don't bleed their color. I want to preserve the whiteness of this. Luckily, everything fits on. Hello, Steam. How are you today? Like the light is almost too bright that you can't even see the carrots. That's crazy. They're really white. Steamy McSteam. How was work today, Steam? You just get freckles all over? Sammy commented, he's like, you have a lot of freckles this year. I'm like, yeah, because I actually went outside and enjoyed my summer. I get a lot of freckles in the summer, and then they slowly subside over the winter. And then they slowly start coming back. Hey, Vegan Gelato, good to see you in here. So these, I'm just gonna kind of massage. Let's give them some love. You want it completely coated with oil. Goombacks, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. And I'm gonna roast it cut side up. So hopefully we can get some color on there. A little bit of caramelization to make it even sweeter than it already is. It was a day, Steam. Oh no. We had a lot of dumb drivers today, I will say that. Weird stuff going on. Aw, it's nice to come home to this community. That's so nice of you. I was actually really excited to come home and see everyone today. It's like, yeah, let's make some dinner. Okay, so nice little dusting of salt on each one of our carrots. Gotta contrast all that sugar in there with the salt. And I like pepper on carrots as well. We're getting there, guys. And then after this, we can check our pork roast. That's been slowly roasting in the oven at 250 Fahrenheit while we prep up all of our side dishes. And then we gotta crank the oven up for this, so I think I wanna roast it at 450 Fahrenheit. Really, really high heat. That way we'll get color on the veggies and they won't go mushy on us. Okay, I'm just gonna take a quick break. I'll be back in like a minute. We're back. And I got the corn for the polenta. Ninja? Yeah, who okayed this break? Does Doggo like beans? It's like, what is that? Quick little Doggo snack, and then we'll carry on. Just runs away, yeah, see ya. I grabbed a couple more extra beans as well that were in the fridge that we previously have picked. And actually, why don't we just finish up with those first? Doggo down. Get down. So I always like to just take the stem part off of the bean. I don't fool around with the bottom little stringy piece. I like that piece. I feel like it's just a waste if we take that off. There's nothing wrong with it. Maybe we'll saute these with the beet greens. We'll see how fancy I'm feeling. Yeah, crunch, crunch, crunch. We are good. I think I want to leave them whole. Leave the beans in their perfectness. Mm-hmm. So good. Okay, let's see this corn from a local farm here. We got the sweet corn and also some white corn, which is actually supposed to be even sweeter. And it looks like we got the white corn. So we're just gonna cut this off of the cob with the raw kernels, and then we'll mix it into our polenta as it cooks for some nice fresh corn flavor. Totally corn season, right? We got, what did my mom say when she got this? A baker's dozen for $10. So 13 cobs of corn for 10 bucks. It's actually not super cheap. It's not really the right place to grow corn on the island. It's actually really difficult, but some parts get hot enough. The part, it's called Saanich, is where most of the farms are. That's where they can grow some pretty good corn there, but most of it is grown on the mainland. So that will be 1 hour of the pork being in the oven at 250 Fahrenheit. And I think those veggies are gonna take about 25 minutes to roast, maybe 20 minutes. But let's check out this pork. It's time to temp it. After an hour, it is time. Look at this lovely thing. Saanich? No, Saanich. S-A-N. Saanich. Oh yeah, we're getting there. It's definitely not cooked through, but we're making some leeway. Things are starting to break down. Our salt crust is starting to form. We're getting there, guys. So let's see what we're at. I'm gonna go right through to this center. Fully cooked, I want this to be around 130 Fahrenheit in here. So let's see how much more we have to go.
That's the best dog.
Go, go, go. It is at like 93. Yeah, that's a good doggo. So 93. She's like, what? I'm good? I'm gonna be bad. So we need that to climb, what, 25 more degrees still? But I want to do this in a pan now. So this is kind of our method of reverse searing today. We cooked it an hour at 250 Fahrenheit. And then I want to finish this in a cast iron pan, and we're gonna baste it, get some color because our fat cap is on top here. So we're gonna start with this fat side down in the pan, start to render that, get it crispy, get some caramelization, and then we'll turn it over to finish cooking it on the other side, and then start spooning over the nice hot pork fat and maybe a bit of butter if we need. I think that'll be really good because it's the loin. So it's a bone-in pork loin roast, which pork loin does not have a lot of fat in it, just the little fat cap on top. So we have to be very gentle with it. So I'm gonna take this out now. I feel like we're in a really good spot, which means we can now crank up our oven for our veggies. So 450 Fahrenheit. So we gotta go 200 degrees higher than what we're at. And this pork, we're just actually gonna let it rest at this moment. So we're gonna just let it stay at the room temp until we go to finish it in the pan. And this is kind of the cool part about reverse sear, is that we're resting it now, which means when we finish cooking it at the end and get the sear on it, we don't have to let it rest another time, as it rests kind of in the middle. Okay, corn time. Just gonna get some water. So we're gonna stand the cob up like this, and we're just gonna cut the kernels off. And they'll probably go everywhere. Just gonna say that. Sometimes it helps to have a sheet pan underneath. But if you go slow enough, maybe we'll be okay. I think we'll be just fine. So we want to get most of the kernel, but we don't want to go down to the core of the corn, because that's where it gets really hard and woody. So there is a happy medium here. It's so juicy. I don't know if you guys can see the splashes. Done. So we can just put that into a bowl and set that aside for our polenta, because these corn kernels will maybe take about 5 minutes to cook in there. Not long at all. It's so fruity. Almost like candy. That's some juicy corn. I think my favorite way to have corn is still grilled. Grilled is still the best. Okay, polenta. We have 2 different types of cornmeal. And I'm not gonna make a ton of polenta for us. Like a cup of cornmeal is probably gonna make way too much. Yeah, butter and lime juice. I also like basil on it as well. So the Bob's Red Mill stuff is the medium grind cornmeal. So it'll take a little bit longer to cook. Oh, elotes, yes. So good. Okay, half a cup of that. Half a cup of purity. I don't know about you guys, but this is basically the only cornmeal we can find here in the store. Unless you start looking for the Bob's Red Mill stuff. But really, there's not much else. Or we can go to like the farm and get it milled fresh. That's always good. 1 cup, which this should cook out to like probably 4 or even 5 cups of cornmeal or polenta. You see stuff like masica, which is masa, so that's not actually cornmeal. That is nixtamalized corn, which means it's gone through a process with like alkaline, and that's what they use to make tortillas and tamales and stuff like that. You don't have the purity even. Oh, interesting. Okay, so 1 cup of cornmeal. I think it's usually 3 to 1. I've not made polenta in quite a long time. But I think it's usually 3 to 1 for the liquid. Which means I would like to do only a cup of milk for a little bit of richness, and then 2 cups of a chicken stock, or you can even do like a vegetable stock if you have it. But try and stay away from water, because really it was just gonna be so bland. And then we'll finish with the cheese at the end. I was like, what do I smell? I remembered I had the pizza stone still in here. I'm gonna take this out. Nope, don't want that. That's really hot. We're gonna take that outside. Come on. Doggo's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. Yeah, grits. See, that's not something that we have here. We literally have like purity and masica. Making grits with water is blasphemy. Thank you. And I want to make this polenta a little bit loose too. So maybe I'm just going to commit and do the 3 cups of chicken broth. I always hate when if you ever get it at a restaurant, and then it's good for maybe the first 5 minutes, and then it just gets rock hard and rubbery and weird, and you're like, what do I do with this now? I need to go to the south And taste all that food that you guys keep talking about. Really, really want to do that. Just sounds so good. Okay, so 3 cups of chicken stock, probably like that. And this is my favorite thing to use. Should focus for us. It's called Better Than Bouillon. And then we're gonna pour hot water in here so that it dissolves. They also do vegetable and beef broth as well. And the first ingredient in their beef broth mix is roasted beef. Pretty awesome. Okay, let's mix this up. It should transform into something magical. Even if not all the base dissolves in here, I know that it will get mixed in when we start mixing the cornmeal into the liquid. This, I know. Honestly though, this stuff doesn't go bad vegan gelato. Basically the big Costco jar, because we've gotten those as well, costs the same price as that little one that you just saw me using. It doesn't even make sense. But yeah, we kept ours like past the expiry date. As long as you keep it in the fridge, I think you're fine. We never saw like any mold of any sort in there. I don't really see how it could go bad. Okay, that looks good. You see the little yellowish tinge in there now. Next up, our garlic. Ooh, and I do see shallot. I'm gonna roll with shallot instead of the onion for our base for the polenta. So let's do 1, 2, I want this pretty garlicky. Let's do 3 cloves of garlic. We'll just use a garlic press to get that into there. Little smash so we can peel it easier. Anyone else cooking dinner right now? Is that what everyone's doing? We're all busy in the kitchen, trying to put a meal on the table. I'm gonna cut this in half. I'm only gonna use half of this. It's quite a large shallot. And that. Now we'll peel that up. Now, I think we're gonna chop this pretty fine. So I'm gonna turn it this way, and we're gonna kind of cut it like an onion. You're cleaning out your fridge. Oh, that's always a good feeling though, Zobo. And I'm just gonna separate that, because that's what usually happens anyways. So let's do nice little cuts. We'll do like 1/3 of an inch, not super tiny. And then we'll dice it. Then we can saute the shallot and the garlic together. Now this one, We'll do the same thing. And then notice how I'm not cutting all the way through on the end part here. So that's what keeps everything together. Pretty gross. Oh no. But yeah, definitely needed. Yeah, your community thanks you for not streaming that. Okay, it is time. I believe it is time for us to get cooking on the stovetop. This shallot is making me cry, but we are going to be fine. So here is our polenta pot. I'm gonna turn that on to a nice medium-high heat to get it started. And I think I wanna do a mix of butter and olive oil. Didn't she make that on stream 2 weeks ago? I love that. Because you know someone would say that, right? And you'd be like, no I didn't. You don't remember what I made. Yeah, I would never. When you're like having to smell everything, you're like, well, it doesn't smell bad, so I guess I should use that. The sniff test. It's like, oh wow, that's not moldy yet? Okay. We're gonna do a fair amount of butter. I'm not scared. When we say creamy polenta, we mean it. A can of steak chili. Doggo, why are you scratching yourself? She's a butthead, guys. She's a little butthead. And we'll leave the butter out just in case we need it for our pork in a little bit. Was the can of chili opened? No, right? Honestly, the sad part is it was probably okay still. Good old canned goods. Okay, guys, I think we're also going to start roasting our lovely veggies that we prepped up earlier. So let's get those into the oven. It's always better to have them ready early than to be waiting on them. And I'm gonna watch those every 10 minutes. That way we can rotate the tray if we need to, etc. It was not opened. That's the worst. Okay, our butter is getting hot. You guys can see that. So I'll drop the shallot in first, and then we'll add the garlic afterwards. We need a spoon. A designated polenta spoon. Should we shine some light on the matter? Why not? So we don't want too much color on our shallot and garlic. Maybe just sweat it out until they're starting to look translucent. But we don't really want them to brown. Maybe it was better this without the light, hey? I think it's better without the light today. Start putting our 3 cloves of garlic in. the house smells amazing now. You know when you're walking down the street and you just smell garlic and onion frying at someone's house? Doesn't that just make you want to like walk up to the house and be like, whatever you're cooking, can I please have some of it? I'm gonna grab a bay leaf. I always like to add bay leaf into my polenta. If we add the bay leaf now, it might even pop a little bit. Try and find a medium-sized one. And then I'm gonna pick a little bit of thyme from outside for this as well. Maybe a little sprig of rosemary, but not too much. I don't want to overpower with the rosemary flavor. I just think it would go really nice with the pork though. Okay, it looks like our stuff is just starting to turn golden. So now we're gonna pour in our liquid. So 1 cup of milk, 3 cups of chicken stock. And we're gonna let that come up to a boil. Make sure we scrape all of the chickeny goodness from the bottom. I'm gonna go grab that thyme really quickly because I want it to steep in the milk as it heats up. Sammy says, such a good smell. Sammy's wondering what we got cooking too. Okay, that's going. Everything is in its place. I'm feeling good about it, guys. Whoa, 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 whoa. What do we got here? An ooze brood raid. Welcome in, guys. How is the stream today? How was that deli? What was the most popular sandwich? Stream was amazing. Nice. Hey, Running Beard, good to see you. Definitely prosciutto. I'm drooling just thinking about it. Technically, the salmon crostini. I'm guessing that's an inside joke there. So currently, guys, we have some fresh picked garden veggies roasting in the oven. We did our first pick of beets today in the garden here and the carrots. And I thought it would be really good if we just roasted those and kind of condensed the flavor even more. So that's what's in the oven. We are prepping up our polenta. So we just poured our liquid into the pot and then we just have to stir our cornmeal into that. And we have a lovely pork roast that we are reverse searing. Do a quick transfer back over here for a sec. So a pork loin roast, bone in. This cooked in the oven at 250 Fahrenheit for an hour. Then we took it out, it's resting. Then we're gonna finish it in a cast iron pan, baste it up with some butter and deliciousness. And hopefully bring it up to 130 Fahrenheit internally. Also got a little bit of beans here to cook still. Somehow figure that into our meal. Lord Agilimes, thank you for the follow. Okay, I gotta watch this liquid, because as soon as it comes to a boil, we're gonna start whisking in our cornmeal. Cornmeal. Ready to get your learning on. Yeah. Anuvik XYZ, I've seen you in here before. And G4F. And I think, guys, I'm gonna turn on our pan for the pork now. And I think I'm actually gonna put the pork into that pan as it heats up. And we're gonna do that fat cap side down. So the side that we seasoned, we're gonna start that touching the pan. And then we'll flip it over once it gets some color on it and finish cooking it and basting it that way. Pork roast. I know I haven't cooked pork on stream in a long time. It's been too long, one might say. And there should be enough fat on the fat cap that you don't really have to add too much fat into there. It should start to render out pretty quickly. Okay, it looks like our milk and chicken stock is just coming up to a boil. I'm using 1 cup of cornmeal here because we want a looser polenta. We're not making a hard polenta that you fry after. So we want to stir as we pour in the cornmeal. We don't want any clumps. That's what we're avoiding at this moment. And then this should start to thicken up pretty quickly. You can already feel it. I know you guys can't see it. And then we're gonna turn this down, right down to low heat and let it cook out for like minimum 5 minutes at least. But I would say ideally, you probably want to be standing here stirring it on and off for about 10 minutes. I know, it sounds like too much work, but to me, I think it's worth it. Okay, now that it's thick, I'm gonna turn it down because this stuff kind of gets like molten lava. It starts to bubble and ooze, if you will. Har har. And we don't want that to splash anywhere, especially not on your skin, because it definitely won't feel good. I might even switch it to the back burner, which is even less heat. And I'm gonna keep the whisk in here. That way I can feel all around the sides of the pot and the bottom, just in case it wants to start to stick on. That was our timer for our roasted veg. So I'm gonna be checking that every 10 minutes. I thought that was a good little interval for us. But my guesstimation is that it would take about 20 minutes to roast. Oh, baby. Okay, we're sizzling. We're looking good. We have heirloom carrots or beets from the garden. Let me feel this. Still pretty hard. Carrots are actually almost done. Let me do another 5. And if we have to, we'll take the carrots off the tray early because I'd rather not have them mushy. I'd rather preserve their little bit of crunch. Dark Storm, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. I'm that Sam. Thank you for the host. Oh yeah. Look how thick we got. So 4-to-1 liquid, and we might even still have to add more, which it looks like we do. So I'm just gonna add a touch of water to loosen it back up. Because I think the consistency is really important here. She be getting thick. We're gonna add a little bit of Asiago at the end to this to give it that cheesy factor. But I don't want to add it now because that will burn onto the bottom as well. That will be wasted cheese. Okay, that is looking good. You could also use some milk to loosen it back up if you feel like you need that. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but our pork is starting to sizzle. Hey, Dust, thank you for the follow, or thank you for the host as well. Dracolust, thank you for the follow. Hey, Sam, how are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, no one wants to waste cheese, especially not Asiago. It's got some pretty good funk. It's like the creamy version of Parmesan. At least that's how I think of it. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, a host of one streamer. It's better than nothing, Dust Pirate. Yes. That's starting to cook. Polenta is also one of those things that you kind of want to do last minute before you plan to serve your food, because it doesn't really hold well. As you guys can see, that like 5 minutes where I didn't stir it, it just got rock hard. And we also have some fresh herbs in there cooking into it that we'll just remove right at the end. Everything is looking good. We're searing the roast. I'm hoping to not have to put it back in the oven, but we might have to just to bring it up to that temp. But trying to put some color on it first. At least we know that the oven is hot and ready, just in case we have to. But I would love to just be able to finish it on the stovetop. And we also got to think that even if I took it out of the oven at 93 Fahrenheit, as it rested, it probably cooked another 10 degrees just sitting there. So we probably took it up to 100 degrees at least before we put it into this pan now. So it shouldn't take us very long to get it up there. Gonna add a touch of oil because I can see that our little bit of mustardy crust wants to stick to the pan, and that makes me a bit sad. I don't want that to stick. I want it to stay on the pork. So now just gonna kind of swirl that oil around the pork, hopefully be able to loosen it off. Patience, my friends, patience. I'm actually not cooking it to 165. I'm planning to serve this pork more around medium temp in the middle, so around 130 Fahrenheit, and then it will rest up to close to 140 Fahrenheit if we were cooking a steak the same way. Okay, that was our veg timer, but I think we gotta flip this over first. Okay, well, most of it stayed on. Try not to disturb it anymore. And then to finish the coloring on the top there, that's why we baste it and put the hot fat over top. polenta is still good. That was a face full of steam. I'm gonna try one of these beets. Okay, those are good. It's so sweet. Okay, I'm gonna take those out. Check these out quickly. So our heirloom carrots, we got orange, purple, and white. And then our lovely beets. We're just gonna set those aside. And if they cool off too much before we plan to serve our food, then we can pop them right back in the oven for a couple minutes just to reheat them. But I'd rather take them out now and have them sit rather than overcook and go mushy on us. You know what? I might just throw this pork back in the oven at this moment. Then we don't have to watch it. It'll slowly come up and we can finish cheesing our polenta. That'll be fine. And then we just have to baste it right at the end. I'm feeling good about it though. A lot of love is going into this. Okay, let's get that Asiago out. We also have some fresh corn kernels to put into that polenta. So I'm gonna put those in right now as well. Mix that in. Can take out our thyme. I think there's like 3 or 4 stems in here. There we go. Come to me. We also have a bay leaf in here. So all kinds of aromatics that also pair well with pork. Perfect. Bay leaf was right in the whisk. Now I'm gonna switch back to a spoon. Okay, real quick, let's cheese it up. What happened to my tunes? Okay, they're still here. Hey. Okay, grate up our cheese. The last of the Asiago, which means I get to buy more now. You know what? I got my shirt from my fiance's mom. I have no idea where she found it, but I am like an avid sugar skull collector. So she's always on the lookout for those types of things for me. I wish I could help you out. Aw, thanks, Ooze. Thank you very much for the raid and the host and bringing your peeps to me. I hope you have a wonderful night, man, and don't work too hard. Keep slanging those sandwiches. Okay, that's good enough. Get all that cheese out of there. That's a good amount of cheese, I think. It'll add some really nice flavor to our polenta. And before we add this, I just want to see how our texture is at the moment. Mmm. Mmm. Really good flavor. No, Godric. No. You're not. Definitely getting the flavor from the thyme and the bay leaf in there. And then we also sauteed a little bit of garlic and shallot before we added our liquids in. It's very nice. Okay, we should be able to mix that in and then just turn the pot off and let it sit on the hot burner. Stay nice and warm for us until we're ready to plate up, which is quite soon. We're almost there, friends. Almost. Can smell that pork. Hello. Okay, one more taste. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of salt. I think it definitely needs that. I'm so excited for the little corn kernels that we put in here. It's gonna be a little bite of sweetness. Mmm. That tastes pretty perfect to me. This spoon is gonna be so dirty. Why don't we just leave it in there? Okay. Pork. Let us see. Oh, I think we're getting there. It might be time for that butter. So I'm gonna take the temp, going in this way, right to the center. Okay, 105 right on the bone, and that's in the center. I'm gonna do a little baste here. Try and get some color onto the top. The fuck can I do? You ordered a pizza. Yes. What kind? That's the greatest. Yeah, pizza always sounds good. Should be enough butter. I think we might finish our green beans in the pan with the pork as well when we go to put it in the oven this next time. The ultimate? What is that? What does that even mean? Oh, man. Oh, hello there. I hear you need some basting. Well, I can help you with this. Maybe another 6 minutes for this. Everything but pineapple. Anti-pineapple on pizza person. Who are you? Put some beaners around. They'll kind of roast up in the butter. Even anchovies? What? That sounds very filling. Full meal deal. Okay, almost there, guys. It's a light crust. Oh, nice. That's going to be good then. Hopefully there's not too many toppings that it gets soggy. That's what I would be worried about. Okay, awesome. Our polenta, still soft. It is just ready to go. Yum. It's almost time to eat us. I keep just hearing Sammy like sniff. I think he's ready to eat as well. He's like, what's cooking? Sammy, where art thou? He's playing WoW. Yog. You got Yog? Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. Where do I keep my peel when I'm not using it? Just kind of propped up against our island with the big cutting board as well. I know there's not really a good place to keep it, hey? Do you have one, Vegan Gelato? You got a peel kicking around? Yeah, I find just like sliding it upright beside somewhere is quite handy. I'm just gonna pop these back in quickly. Pork's almost there, Sammy. Good polenta. It's cheesy. Asiago. Yum, yum. Yum, yum. I suppose. We can do this. I'm ready for the pork. We got our cutting board to slice it up on. Plate is here. Like, we are so ready. What do I want to use to cut it? Actually, probably this one. Can't wait to see it. Let's hope it's perfection. I've been fooling around with this piece of pork. All I know is that I do not want to overcook it. That's all I know, guys. Okay. Give these beans a little toss and then literally 2 more minutes. Also, we're gonna put some salt on these beans as well. Always salt your veg and basically anything else that you're cooking. This is what we're looking at. So close. I'll open up another window in here. Start letting some cold air in. Now that the sun's going down, Time to cool it off. Oh, yeah. Mellows Papo. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. How are you today? Yeah, so are you. Don't mind me, guys. Currently hunting for someone that we're gonna go raid in some minutes. Veggies, happiness, pork, happiness. Yeah, we're sizzling now. Now we're sizzling. Hiya. Oven off. We're here. So see those, like the white, how the blood is? That means we're good to go. You're gonna get chips now. Yes. Do I have a tat on my shoulder? Yeah. Oh, you noticed it. I showed it a little bit earlier. It says Bon Appetit, and it's a beet, because that's my favorite veg. I will never regret that tattoo. It always reminds me of my Baba. Yeah, it's really hot, Sam. It just came out of the oven. He's like, what? Just came out of the oven. Let's get that little bit off. That little bit. Oh, the pork smells deadly though. So see what I mean, guys? How the fat cap, when it's messed up, look how unevenly it kind of cooks. Because then it just shrinks up because it has nothing to hold on to. So that's the original fat cap. And those are all the spots where we were missing it. Ooh. Broska. Broshka. Thank you for the follow. Okay, let's cut Sammy's piece. And I'm remembering that these bones are kind of crooked, so it's gonna look a little funny. Cut Sammy's piece first. Are we ready? I don't think we're ready. Now we're ready. Happiness? Happiness. Mine's a little rare in there still, hey? This a little bit rare. I'll cut off the other end for myself. But that does look pretty much perfect. If we would have rested it maybe 5 minutes, perfection. But I'll take it. Yeah, pretty much perfect. I mean, I like my pork more rare than well done. So to me, that's awesome.
Okay, sorry. Had to do this. Looks like good stuff.
Thank you so much, Cookie. Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you so much.
Something fired on the screen.
What? Oh, did it? What do we got today? You're not sorry about this. Was it something?
Yeah.
Where is it? It doesn't show for me. Does it show for you guys? Oh, there it is. Ah! What's happening? Ah, ah, ah. That's the greatest. Those things are honestly my favorite. I just got beat the F up by a little bear. Oh no.
Stop,
Ah!
stop.
We need a bear. Help.
Whack.
Get the bear. Thanks, Sammy.
Welcome.
Okay, back to the pork. Cookie, thank you for everything. That's all I can really say to you. I always feel spoiled by you every single week. See how the juices are still running out? That means we didn't rest it long enough. I'm just basically telling you what not to do. Yeah, the juices. Or you can just pour them off of that. What? Into your plate.
Yours is fine.
Is it? Oh, yeah. It's like resting as we're talking. Yeah, don't mess with the snuggle, yo. I just know that the other side of it is going to be more rare, right? So I'd rather keep that part pristine. Let's see this one.
Knowing me, it's gonna fly off the plate.
What's going on with this crazy bone? We're good. I'm just gonna put that back over there. She's a thick piece of meat. I'm just gonna set that there for a sec. Gotta get this board out. I'm gonna pour the juices onto the beans, guys. Without spilling. Success. Last time I tried that, I poured it all over the floor. So that's a bonus.
True story.
I think I'm gonna take the piece I cut for you for a photo. Yeah, the Reese's pants. Back for another appearance. Okay, first thing going down onto the plate is our cheesy polenta. Nice little pile in the center. Go just a little bit. Next, I always like to do veg after that, layered onto your starch. Here's what we got going on today. Get my cloth out of there. Heirloom carrots, beets, and beans. So I'm gonna do the beans first. Set them there. Definitely gonna, use tongs for the beets and the carrots, because the beets will just stain my hands. Do that. Kind of just post them up around the plate. And I think I'll keep the beets more to this side, so we don't want them to bleed into the polenta. Nice little pile. And our big ass, yeah, Bears beets Battlestar Galactica. Big ass piece of pork. Should kind of go just right. You might have to move these carrots over. Post it up right like this. Nestle it in the polenta so it's not moving anywhere. Just gonna spoon a little bit of the sauce from the pan, AKA by sauce, I probably just mean butter. Buttery pork drippings. And that is that. Am I watching the MasterChef Canada? I am a chef, and actually I did apply for Canada Top Chef this weekend. So just waiting to hear back on my application. I'm gonna take a quick photo of this. You guys hold tight. I might be able to do it right here if the lighting's nice. And then we get to taste it. It's usually not my favorite spot for a photo though. There's all these shadows. Thanks, Dust. Took me a little bit longer than I expected, but I think as long as the food is delicious, I think that's all that matters. What happened, Sammy? Okay. We got it. Go, go, go. The moment we've been waiting for. Go to town, Sammy. He is. It's tasty. Seasoned enough? Mmm. Those beets are like candy. So are the carrots. Still a little bit of crunch, it's perfect. Let's try our beans. Mmm. What does a beet taste like? Some people say it tastes kind of like dirt, but I would call that more earthy.
This nug though.
Earthy. There's like a floral aspect to it. And yeah, other than that, it's just super sweet. The later in the season you grow your beets, the more kind of dirt flavored you'll get. You've never had homemade beets? It's kind of life-changing. The beet shouldn't really be sour unless it's pickled. Wow, the little corn kernels in this polenta are unreal.
I give that 9 out of 10.
Thank you. With like the creaminess of the cheese and then the like sweet, juicy kernels because they're still like held together in there. Whew. I would say this plate at a restaurant, at least $40. Kind of crazy to think that. But that's how much food costs when you prepare it like this.
If you gave a double bone, for sure.
Yeah. Well, my pork chop is probably like 6 ounces, maybe 7-ish. Yeah, I really like creating both like color contrast when I'm plating, but also textural contrast too. Because you don't want everything to just be mushy. The loin is a little bit dry on the outer parts, I will say that, guys. Where it's like for sure well done. But I'm sure if I get into this part, closer to the bone, and that little nugget that Sam had with the dark meat on it. Probably so much better. Even just like this piece up here. So good. I don't know if it'll focus for us. Will she? Will she do it? No. Like 100 times better than my first bite. That's tasty, guys. I'm happy with that. To me, the veggies almost outshine the pork.
Put a 5-minute timer on, please.
What's that? What's going on here? I don't know what you did. Timer. Is the oven still on?
No, it's off.
Oh, okay. Okay. Who are we going to go raid? My wonderful people.
When your polenta can do this.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. See what I mean? As soon as you take it out of the pot, it just wants to like harden up right away. That looks like really fun to play with though. It's almost like silly putty. Hitch is on. Oh, he's back home. What? Guys, Hitch is on the island with us. Or he's almost there. Horseshoe Bay?
Oh, okay. He's on the mainland right now.
He's coming back over. Should we go pick him up? Okay, I am going to go raid Minnesota because he came and watched me earlier. So let's build our little community. He's making Thai basil pork, and he's also the bone-in team streamer of the week. So let's go show him some love. I feel like he deserves that. Whoa, Dust, thank you for the 100 biddies. All over that, yeah, Thai basil pork. Thank you so much, Dust Pirate, that means a lot. Yeah, you stuck through me with this whole stream. All of my doubts and worries. Okay, guys. Button has been clicked.
He's just wrapping it up, so if you want to...
I'm not going to Hitch.
Oh, okay.
Thank you guys for the biddies today. Thank you to Ooze Brood for the wonderful raid and all of our new follows as well. We're almost at 2K. Very, very close. I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. We will be back streaming tomorrow, and I believe it's pancakes. I'm pretty sure it's breakfast for dinner tomorrow, which is gonna be delicious. Okay, take care, guys. See you tomorrow. Love you all.